And coaching has a very, very defined process. For example, mentoring may not have that defined process because it depends on the mentor. It depends on the experience of the mentor, the psyche of the mentor. But when you talk about the coaching, it has a predefined process. It's a 5-stage process. What is that 5-stage process? So first you establish connection with the client at the level of who, at the level of a person, at the level of a being. Then once you start interacting with the client session to session, you always finalize the outcome of the session in the initial period of the session so that you remain focused. You focus your attention, your and client's attention on the outcome, because the coaching is a very result-oriented intervention. It is not a philosophical discussion. It is not an intellectual discussion. It is an intense conversation resulting into a result what client wants. So you focus your initial talk on the outcome. Once you agree on an outcome, once coach and coachee agrees on an outcome, coachee means client, then you go for evoking awareness, discover. You understand the environment, you understand the reality, right? So you do it through meaningful and purposeful questioning. So the meaningful and purposeful questioning is the technique what coach utilizes. Is it the only technique? No, but it is one of the most powerful techniques what coach utilizes to evoke awareness in the coachee, to ask meaningful and the purposeful and reflective questions. To go to the root of the problem, utilize a technique called as root cause analysis. So these are all part of the step number 3. Step number 4, once you go to the root of the problem or root of the goal or the motive of the goal, now you derive actions. Who will derive actions? Coachee will derive actions. You will co-design actions with the coachee. So it's a collaborative process of designing assignments and action plan. And there you will utilize this application of the neuroscience in atomic habits, how you will do the incremental behavioral change assignment, how you will utilize the neuroscience for giving the positive strokes to the coachee, right? So there are a variety of the techniques which I will explain you briefly in the neuroscience coaching model. And then you monitor the progress. And during the monitoring the progress, you celebrate the success. Why? Because the brain needs positive strokes and rewards to generate right chemicals, to generate oxytocin, right? So this is how we do, right? So whatever coach you are, whatever is your niche, whoever is the coachee is, you follow the same process. Your approach might change based on the client, but the process what you follow always remains the same. And that is the reason a professional coach will offer a great value to any client in any situation. Why? Because the process is standardized. Connection, outcome, discovery, discover, action, and progress, which is CODAP.